So hello and welcome back to Griffith's Production, where there's a whole load of teasers, stories and chaos. So this is part 4 of my Staceys New Lover season 1. Now this won't be posted, this won't basically be scheduled to come out until the 20th of February next year, because the reason why there's like such a gap between part 3 and part 4 is because Stacey and my character Liam went away on their honeymoon, and they go away for a month on holiday to Spain with the kids, and they come back after a month. So I've sort of like made it like a month since this part comes out, so there's like a gap, so it makes it more realistic. But enjoy. It's been a month, and Stacey, Liam and the kids are back in Walford, and Jean and Kat are happy that they are back. Kat says, "Welcome home, you two." Stacey says, "We're glad to be back." Jean says, "Here's my son-in-law." Jean hugs Liam. Stacey says, "Kids, get your stuff in the house and up to your rooms." The kids take their suitcases in the house. Stacey walks to the kitchen and Jean stops her and says, "There's someone in there." Stacey says, "Who?" Jean opens the door and says, "Surprise!" Stacey says, "Sean, what are you doing here?" Sean says, "I've come to meet your husband." Stacey says, "Liam, come to the kitchen." Liam goes to the kitchen and says, "Who's that?" Sean says, "I'm Sean, Stacey's brother." Liam says, "I've always wondered when we were going to meet." Sean says, "Well, now it's happened." Stacey says, "So how you been?" Sean says, "Good." Stacey says, "Have you got a partner?" Sean says, "Yes." Stacey says, "So when are we going to meet this woman?" Before Sean says anything, someone knocks on the door. Kat opens it and says, "Oh, it's you." Stacey goes to the door and it's Ruby Allen. And Ruby says, "Where's Sean?" Stacey says, "So you're his wife?" Ruby says, "Yeah, I am." Stacey says, "I thought you were in prison." Ruby says, "I got released and went to stay with Sean." Stacey says, "So are you with Sean to get back at me?" Lily comes down the stairs and says, "What's that psycho doing here?" Stacey says, "She's with Uncle Sean." Lily says, "Uncle Sean can do better than her." Ruby leaves. Stacey grabs her coat and goes out to see Janine. Janine says, "What do you want, Stace?" Stacey says, "I need you to attack someone for me." Janine says, "Why can't you? You're Stacey Slater." Stacey says, "Because I don't want to go back to prison." Janine says, "Okay, fine." Stacey says, "Thank you. I'll leave you alone." Stacey leaves. Janine goes out to find Ruby and spots her outside her club. Then goes to Ruby, grabs her, throws her up the wall. Ruby falls on the floor and Janine leaves Ruby lying on the floor unconscious. So make sure you like and subscribe. And what a part that was. What an amazing part that was. So we've got the massive return of Sean Slater. Ruby Allen is back once again. And we've also got Janine attacking Ruby Allen and leaving her on the floor unconscious. So what will happen now? So will maybe Janine basically tell the police that it was Stacey that did it to get Stacey sent down? Or will Janine take the rap and go back to prison? Or will Ruby remember anything about what happened? I guess we'll just have to find out when part 5 hits the screen at the end of February. But this has been such a good part to put up, and I can't wait for you all to watch it. So until next time, see ya.